Hopefully this video finds who it's meant for. I've made 3 of these videos, so if you're watching this one in particular, then it's not a coincidence, right? And so the message of this video is to stop trying to be perfect, right? We live in an imperfect world, and to try to be perfect in an imperfect world is, 1, it's impossible, 2, it's pointless, and 3, it's only going to stress you out, right? Trying to achieve an unattainable goal will only stress you out. And where do we get this perfectionism from? That's another question. A lot of it comes from social media, comparing yourself to others, and even before social media, right? People would still compare themselves to the absolute best of the best, right? To people who they thought were perfect. You know, if some random girl compares herself to an Instagram model, or any famous model, they're gonna assume, okay, they're gonna start to highlight all their imperfections. They're gonna look at that model and then look in the mirror and see how imperfect they are. But the entire time, even that model who people see as perfect, that's a real person, and that model also sees themselves as imperfect. That model doesn't think that they're perfect, right? Let's say you're a basketball player. You might look at, the famous basketball players, LeBron, Steph, Durant, whoever. You might think they're perfect, but, these are real people too. These are real people, and, they have to wake up, look in the mirror, go to sleep at night. These people, even they, as good as they are, they look in the mirror and they see all their imperfections. They see their imperfections while other people don't, right? Everybody sees their own imperfections while others don't, usually, right? Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes, a lot of people have confidence, and that's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And so they acknowledge their imperfections, but they don't let it get to them. That's a great thing, A lot of times people will project, right? They will project their imperfections and throw them onto you. For example, let's say someone who is short, for example, might go up to someone who's, let's say, average height or even tall. They're going to go up to that person and try to put them down and project onto them and try to make them feel short. They're going to try to throw their imperfections onto you, right? To try to make you feel just as imperfect as they do. And so there's no point in trying to, please these people who are themselves imperfect. You're trying to be perfect to try and impress people who are also imperfect. It doesn't make any sense. Stop trying to be perfect to impress imperfect people. There's no point. Even, let's say, financially. Nobody's out here, even the richest people, they don't see themselves as perfect either. They always want more and more. If they have $1 million, they want 2 million. If they have, $1 billion, they want 2 billion, 3 billion. The list goes on. Human beings, by nature, are just never satisfied. And so trying to satisfy, this hunger for perfection is pointless. There's no point in doing it. Not for yourself, not for others, not for anybody. Right? It's only going to stress you out, wear you down. A lot of people, they go to extreme lengths to try to achieve this perfectionism that just doesn't exist. I see people getting surgeries, unnecessary surgeries. Like if it's a health thing, sure, that makes sense, of course. But there's people getting, plastic surgery unnecessarily to try to boost their confidence. People get, veneers, fake teeth, basically. A lot of these things to, I guess, boost their confidence, try to appear perfect. They try to appear perfect in an imperfect world to impress imperfect people. And usually they try to disguise it as, boosting their confidence or doing it for any kind of reason. But deep down, they want to impress people who aren't perfect. They want to have the upper hand against people who, also have imperfections. Everyone has imperfections. Some people are just better at hiding it than others. Some people are just better at hiding their imperfections. And that's all it really boils down to. So think about all the times that you've tried to be perfect. Try to have perfect things, perfect car, perfect place to stay, perfect clothes, perfect hair, perfect teeth, perfect shoes, whatever it may be. Reflect on that and ask yourself, why did you go to these lengths to try to be perfect? Who were you doing it for? Why were you doing it? What did you gain from doing it? What did you gain from going so far out your way to try to be perfect or try to be near perfect? You have to ask yourself, what did you gain? Who were you trying to impress? Sometimes we get caught up trying to, impress others, looking for external validation, external comfort, external happiness, right? And now I might sound like a hippie when I say this, but you have to make yourself happy. Only you can decide when you're happy and when you're not. Other people might, influence that. Sometimes someone can come along, do something negative and ruin your day, but you have the choice to ultimately decide whether that actually impacts the rest of your day or not. You can take that negativity and hold on to it, or you can just let it go. So let this video be a reminder to stop focusing on the external and focus on the internal. Why do you feel the need to be perfect? Why do you feel the need to impress others? Why do you feel the need to go out of your way to achieve something that is unobtainable? By definition, is unobtainable. Even in nature, I'm outside right now, obviously. There's nothing perfect in nature. You will not see a perfect circle in nature. You will not see a perfect square in nature. You won't see anything perfect in nature. That's what it's all about. We come from nature, and so there's no point in trying to be something that you're not. You already have that natural foundation in which you were built, and a lot of people will go to certain lengths to try to destroy that and build something up completely different that doesn't even fully represent them. They've been pretty much brainwashed to think that they shouldn't love themselves the way that they are. And so they feed into this lie, and they become something that they otherwise never would have been. They can become a completely different person based off other people's opinions and other people's, experiences. They look at certain people and they try to imitate it. They try to imitate them because through their eyes, they think that person is perfect. And so they try to be what they think is perfect. Like I said before, it's an unattainable standard to have. There is no such thing as perfect. By definition, there is no such thing as perfect. Why? Because we come from an imperfect world. The world was imperfect when we got here, and it will be imperfect when we leave it. It's like a dog chasing its tail, or, trying to chase the sunset. And these are just impossible things by definition. It just can't happen. These aren't attainable things. And a lot of people put a lot of their time, money, and energy into trying to obtain this impossible standard for themselves. That they set this standard for themselves, and they go to these extreme lengths to try to achieve it. And this video is a reminder to self-reflect on how have we, because I'm not exempt from this either, how have we looked at all these external things and tried to make them internal when they shouldn't be? How have we looked at all these seemingly perfect things and tried to emulate them? How have we tried to obtain this unobtainable standard for ourselves? And in doing so, wasted a lot of time, money, and energy, and losing ourselves in the process. So let this video be a reminder to self-reflect, and despite all the imperfections that you have, that other people have, that this entire world has, to just accept it. Accept it for what it is, and love it for what it is. What other option do we have? And with that said, I hope y'all have a blessed day. I'm out.